Thank you. You keep an eye on it, Jen. Greetings. Hi, welcome to another one of your Frank26 UB2Bs. It is the 22nd of December, 2025. I greet you in agape love. We are KTFalways.com, which stands for Keep the Faith Always in Our Heavenly Father. We are a Christian-based organization. Before we do anything, we always go to God and pray. Join me. Abba, Heavenly Father, by the blood of your Son, Jesus, I enter your world. I enter your domain. I thank you, God, for another day of my life with you and my family. Every day is interesting. Every day is challenging. But every day is an opportunity to serve you, to worship you. And for me, it's an opportunity to learn. I want to learn as much as I can. And right now, I'm trying to learn as much as I can about you. I used to study religion, God. I used to study religion. I studied a lot of religions. But at this age of 70, I've come to the realization that I don't have a religion. I have a faith in your Son, Jesus. And that's what allows me to be righteous in front of you. I'm not looking for the undertaker. I'm looking for the upper taker, your Son, Jesus. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready to, to be taken up. I'd rather accomplish my full life here. But if you want to come early, I'm all for it. I thank you for my life, for the years you've given me, and for whatever more years that you have. I promise you in front of these witnesses, I will obey you. And when I don't, you whisper in my ear. You let me know, okay? You see, because when I don't obey you, most of the times I don't even realize it. Like a child, I make mistakes, and sometimes I don't realize it. So every day is a learning experience, and I'm grateful for that ability to learn in order to improve in your kingdom. Thank you again for tonight. Be with every one of our friends and families that are with us, our KTFA staff that helps us. Bless them all. And be with those that are listening right now. They have ears, but those ears are for you, not for me. In the name of your Son, Jesus, by the Holy Spirit, I pray, amen, amen, amen. So, yeah, it's good to be with you all. We study the Iraqi dinar. Everything that I say to you is just strictly my opinion. I like my white shirt. Like always, I'm going to read to you our team's report. We also had an interesting phone call with Aki, and I shared part of it with you yesterday. And the title of your UB2B is Aki answered. No, not Aki. Um, BFF. Remember yesterday I told you that Omar was going to talk with the economist that's been telling us every day some amazing things. He answered my question, and I'll share it with you tonight. So let's kick back and relax and enjoy. I don't know how long I'll be with you. I've noticed that I don't know how long I've been with you. I'll be with you tonight. Let's see by this here. So this is where we end for the day. Go with him. Ah, voila. So yesterday, well, this was late at night yesterday. Here we go. About 10 o'clock. Okay. How about we pick up? We start yesterday. I finished with you around 7, 6, something like that, and then reports kept coming in all night. And I'm gonna pick you up with about not that one. Okay. Right here. We're going to start right there at 10:14 in the evening from yesterday, okay? And it says the following: the television shows this. This is you'll find this on IraqiNews.com. Mr. Frank, this is Baghdad News. They say in a significant shift that could reshape Iraq's security and political landscape. And what did we need? Security and stability. Okay. That could reshape Iraq's security and political landscape. Who did we need it from? Yes, the Iranian politicians. That could reshape Iraq's security and political landscape. Several Iraqi armed fractions have decided to hand over their weapons to the federal government, according to informed political sources who spoke on IraqiNews.com. These are Iraqis that are like traitors. They're like Republicans that support the Democrats. Now, the move marks a departure from years of resistance to disarmament, and it reflects a mounting regional and international pressure on armed groups operating outside of the full state control. No, okay, fine. But what it boils down to is that the Middle East, all they know to do is argue and fight. But then again, you may say that that's what they're doing, but in reality, that's their style. Where we see delay, where we see argument, where we see insults as Americans, they see progress. You know that. You know that. Even after you sign on the contract, the next day you think they're going to come in and fulfill the contract. No, the next day they come in and they tear the contract apart and start all over again. And in America, you would say that's an insult. But over there, if you don't do that, well, it's an insult. I know. Catch 22, irony on steroids, I guess. But it is that way. Now, you've got these groups that are Iranians and they support, excuse me, you have these groups that are Iraqis and they're supporting Iranian terrorists, Iranian politicians. Well, they shouldn't, should they? No, they shouldn't. So they come out and say today that there's a move that's marking a departure for years of resistance to disarm these fractions that have been causing trouble in our country. Not only the Iraqis, but the Iranians as well too. And what do we need for the monetary reform? Then, Frank, the United States delegation is led by Mark Zavaya. He was in Iraq today, and he basically gave a speech about unifying Iraq's armed fractions under central control government. He emphasized integrating these militia to maintain stability and to reduce dependence on the armed groups. There's much more on this on the television. You can go and find and look here, and he shows me and tells me where and what to do. Next report. Then the next report starts getting a little exciting in the day because they're good reports. They're interesting reports, and all of this on the television. Look what the TV says now. Once the United States of America delegation gets here, reconstruction and development will grow. Al Sudani is the most likely to lead the next government. Really? They said that on TV? Yeah. Why? Well, you know why? Because the bad guys are saying that Maliki is going to be the next prime minister. So when you guys arrive here, you plant the flag of truth and you say, Sudani's going to be the next prime minister. Any questions? And the bad guys say, no, no questions at all. But weren't you just trying to make a ruckus? Weren't you just trying to cause trouble and telling everybody that your Maliki is going to be put in? Mahu? Maliki. Anybody know a Maliki here? We don't know any Maliki. USA. Now, isn't that exactly what we predicted? Didn't I say that there would be a complete 180 turn around of the attitude of these people that are causing trouble for all these decades in parliament? These Iranian politicians, these Iranian militia, these Iraqi militia that are helping the Iranians to steal money from the government of Iraq, to support terrorism around the world. Didn't I say that once we arrived, all of a sudden they would be a complete about face? So when we arrived today, the first thing that they said, we give up, we drop the arms, that gun, that's not mine. Then after that, he says, look, another big report. Now, why do you think that there's so many big reports? Boom, 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 boom. One after another today. Now, you read them in articles, did you? And you won't. Did I not tell you yesterday that a campaign is starting inside of the country? Well, Walking Stick told you. For how long? We talked about it yesterday. For what purpose? We explained it to you yesterday. And at the end of that period, what would Aki do for us? We told you what he would give us. Look what the TV is now saying. All of this already deposited. Regional Finance Ministry Frank, they're saying that they have deposited 120 billion dinars of non-oil. Get that? Got that? Non-oil revenues have been deposited into the federal finance account. Weren't they just saying that we needed to diversify? 120 billion is a start. Now the television is back again. This is the third report. TV news. Look, and there was an exciting day of all the reports. Now, why so many reports? Boom, 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 boom. Who arrived today? Television news. Look what they are discovered. They have discovered, they said. Judiciary. Judiciary? Well, that's part government and part law, I suppose. What you talking about? What happened? We just recovered, they said, 4 billion dinars from a financial fraud crime that was trying to be perpetrated. They were trying to do it again, Mr. Frank, just before we changed the rate, I guess. I don't know. Really? Yeah. 4 billion dinars? Yeah. It's not a lot of money, but I mean, that's like $4 million, but still, you caught him again, huh? Yeah. Mm. Frank, yo. We see this from the airport. Another report? Yep, got another report here, and this is a good one too. The Pakistan president arrives in Baghdad on an official visit. The Pakistan president? Uh huh. I didn't know he was arriving. Uh huh. Hmm. Okay. Frank, what? Another report. Oh, come on, for real. Yeah, no, look. Also, they just said this about December the 29th. Zadine. Zadine came out and talked? Yeah, what did he say? And he said, the December the 29th session is mandatory for electing the Speaker of the President of Parliament and his two deputies, and they cannot be postponed. Everybody's in a hurry, even the bad guys. Bad guys dropped their arms today. We surrender. No problems with us. Hello, USA. Peace. Yeah, this Zidane came out and he said the December 29th session is mandatory for election of the president. So on the 29th, you really, really want them to get that government seated, don't you? Yes, yes. Even you bad guys want them to seat the government on the 29th? Yes, yes. We wanted them to seat it on the 25th, but 29th is okay with us too. Why in a hurry? You know why. All right. Continuing. Oh, yeah, yes. And this city, it cannot be postponed. Sit your butt down. Sit your butt down. Hurry up. Continuing. Now we are at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Today's report. Television says that the fractions are studying. What? Well, they are studying the plan on how they're going to be turning in their weapons. Really? Tell them to let go of them. They're studying the plan on how they're going to be turning in their weapons to still be a part of the political influence or not in their option in their option from the United States of America. Uh, the latter or not. Yeah, you think that we're going to give any Iranian person a position in your government? Not going to happen. Well, it could happen. Now, I don't know who because I don't study the political status of your people. So, and I really don't care because I know Trump's taking care of it. Next one, Mr. Frank. What? Your people are talking. Savoya? No, the other guy, Mike. No, no, the other guy. What other guy? The guy, Joe, Joe who? Joe Mama. No, Joe Wilson. Joe Wilson. Who's that? He's an envoy for the United States of America. He's on the television, and he said these words to us. He said this to us. Okay, this is to me and to Ali and to Hedi Abif and Adin and Ali and all of us. Muhammad, yeah, he said it to him too. What do you say? He says, the United States of America is looking forward to working with the special envoy to bring prosperity to Iraq and to liberate it from Iran. We said that today. Yes, we did. Isn't that the goal? Yeah, but I didn't think we had the basketballs to do that. We said that today. Yeah, we did. Okay. What else did you say, Joel? I said to the Iraqi citizens that we're working with the special envoy to bring prosperity to Iraq and to liberate it from Iran. And I told them that there is no one that is more qualified than him to work on this issue for our president Donald Trump. The U.S. Representative Joe Wilson posted a picture of himself. Selfie. Posted a picture of himself with Trump's envoy holding the Iraqi flag with the American flag behind them and the new Syrian flag beside them. Hey, Iran. How you like me now? Huh? Huh? You see what I got? You see who's next to me? Frank, and I make mockery, I make jocularity of this is because this is what we want. This is what we wanted: security and stability from the terrorism that were stealing the money, that was not allowing the purchasing value to go up, the lifting of the three zeros to occur. That which was the problem has been eradicated. I remember when polio was eradicated, it changed the world. We didn't have to worry about that anymore. As long as you took the vaccine. And Iraq doesn't have to worry about being crippled by political influence that hates them. Iraq has been set free of their cancer. Frank, Omar says that the new currency mechanism was to roll out on December the 1st. Everything that we say to you is just in our opinion. Besides, I think you already know this opinion, and I don't mind talking to you about it because you already have this opinion of ours. So listen to it one more time, okay? And you know how I do this. I read you my team's reports, and then I respond to it. But this is still them. So Omar wants to talk to me about December the 1st because we know, or in our opinion, that's when we think that they were going to bring out the new exchange rate. And they didn't. Instead, the USA gave them 30 more days. And you remember all that. Omar says that the new currency mechanism was to roll out on December the 1st. Yeah. And it didn't. All because the issue with the imports at the border still wasn't fixed with the Asakuda system. So they asked for an extension. And they got the extension for the imports until the end of December. The imports was a huge deal. There's a lot going on with that and potential to lose millions. So they pushed the mechanism back to the end of December to get the import issue aligned properly with the new Asakuda system. In my personal opinion, we will see a rate along with import system fixed expiring of 1310. In my opinion, in my personal opinion, we will see a rate along with the import system being fixed at our borders and the expiring of 1310, all of these at the end of December. Yeah, because that's what they said. Mr. Frank, here's more of my thoughts um, about this. He gives me a long report, in our opinion. So, the Asakuda system is basically a custom data management platform that Iraq wants to roll out to streamline their import and export process because there's a new exchange rate coming. And that exchange rate will be used at the borders, in customs and taxations. So no money is lost. No money is stolen. No profit is left on the table. They have delayed the launch until the end of December. They're just giving themselves a bit more time to get it all set up and running smoothly. So, yeah, I'm right there with you, Frank. Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's definitely a possibility that we might see a rate shift once the new system is up and running. So I didn't read to you what I said to him. So let's just keep an eye on that and we'll see what happens when they get everything in place. Omar asks his friend, this was what he says. Yeah, that's right. It seems like the currency mechanism didn't fully kick in on. Now, these are his bank friends, okay? Yeah, Omar, that's right. It seems that way. It seems like the currency mechanism didn't fully kick in as it was scheduled on December the 1st. So, there's definitely a possibility that they're waiting on all the pieces to come together. We'll see how it plays out. Okie dokie, gentlemen. I agree. And then I respond with a few comments. Good morning, gentlemen. Lots of good news. Let me start out by saying that the Asakuda system was waiting to be put in place, and I agree. They extended until the end of the month in order to properly get it done. But in my opinion, the Asakuda is also looking for a new exchange rate in order for everything that it is doing, saying, and implementing in order for it to work. Frank Omar says that's what he was saying, that the Asakuda and the currency mechanism are one. That's what he was saying, that the Asakuda and the currency mechanism, monetary reform, were all the lifting of three zeros, were all tied in together. That's why the mechanism didn't fully go on December the 1st. And that's right. It's like first stage, second stage, third stage of the Saturn V rocket that went to the moon. If the third stage wasn't ready, you sure as hell were not going to fire first and second stage, were you? So that's why the mechanism didn't fully go on December the 1st, because the system was not fully operational yet because of the import issues. I had imports, including the import issues. They're all tied together, and that pushed it back. So if they had been a goal with the Asakuda in the imports, on December the 1st, well, then we would probably be seeing a rate. We would have seen a rate by then. But he's looking now at the end of December because that's the same time that they said that they're going to reassess, will expire and reassess the rate. So it's kind of all making sense. To which I responded by saying a lot. I say to them, thank you for talking to your friend Omar, because it looks like they also are waiting for everything to fall into place with a new exchange rate. So again, the 29th to the 31st will determine what happens on the 1st. So again, I express in my opinion that the 29th to the 31st will determine what happens on the 1st of January. With our U.S. delegations being there, gentlemen, of course, Iranian fractions are going to give up. If we were not there, they would still be a pain in whatever. Uh, like they've always been. But like I said, our presence in your country forces them to behave, and they are behaving at the right time, aren't they? They are behaving at the right time, aren't they? I like that. They are behaving at the right time, aren't they? Uh, it's either work with you, Iraq, or the United States will remove Iran from Iraq permanently. But at least Iraq has better control of Iranian politicians that have influenced parliament for so many decades. In fact, Trump does not want any Iranian politician anywhere near the monetary reform, or it will fail. I also am of the school of thought, the opinion that on December the 1st of this year, yes, they were supposed to bring out the new exchange rate. But if you recall, they asked for that extension for 1 month, and I honestly didn't think that Trump was going to give it to them. But I guess he knew more than we knew, uh, and he gave it to them. They were going to get it, but they did so once again. Everything has been pushed to the end of the year. Everything has been funneled into a time period from the 29th of December to the 31st, so that January the 1st makes any sense. In my opinion, those new ATM machines. Can I just show it? Let's go to the next report. And this is where you were watching me yesterday when Walking Stick called in. Gentlemen, Walking Stick got a call from Aki in Michigan. Mr. Michigan, he said that very soon, which means, in my opinion, in a few more days, because the month is about to come to an end. He said the government was going to release very specific information about the monetary reform, and when they did, Aki said that he will give us the list of the private banks around the world that will be working with the CBI to collect the 30 notes during the exchange process worldwide, and he will give us the step-by-step instructions to exchange at his bank. Now, I share this with you, gentlemen, because we learned this last night, which tells me that we are seriously close, because this man Aki has a very, very strong Middle Eastern attitude, and he doesn't play games. For him to share this information with us is very important to us. but we still has but he hasn't shared it with us yet. He told us what to look for, what the precursor is, the catalyst that will bring forth this. Continuing. Indeed, gentlemen, I agree with your friend. The Asakura is deeply tied in with the monetary reform, but both require the new exchange rate. Omar, thank you for the report from The Economist. I will share soon. Television says current government has paid off 7 billion in debts since taking office. Really? Well, that's pretty good. Omar says, Mr. Frank, remember I told you that the economist lives in Kurdistan and I live in Baghdad. So we're going to be chatting over the phone. And this, he said, so yeah, Omar lives in Baghdad, and the economist lived in the Kurdistan region. So they ended up hooking up on the telephone, is what he's trying to tell me. Well, that's exciting, Omar. Like I said, my only question to him was, what are you guys going to use on January the 1st? Because you already told the world that on December the 31st, 1310 is canceled. And logic says that you have to reassess a new exchange rate because the government cannot function without an exchange rate, even if it's 1310. So my point is, there is a change coming. If you're canceling 1310 on the 31st, what are you using on the 1st, the next day? And you can't tell me 1310, and you can't tell me nothing. Well, that's stupid. That's impossible. A government needs a rate. Let's move on. I'll get to you sharing in a minute, but let's move on. Frank Omar says that a couple of things that have been on his mind, and he wants to go over it with you today. Getting back to the state on the banks that are closed now through the end of the year. Yeah, I know, I know. He's trying to tell me these banks that are closing in Iraq, they are state banks. The state banks are closed now through the end of the year, and like I told you, don't look for the don't look for anything during this time because it's actually normal. He said if all the banks were closed, and maybe that could be what they're doing with a lower nose, but all we know is that it's just all the state-owned banks here in Iraq are the only ones that are going to be closed, and we do this at the end of every year. So it's a yearly thing for maintenance. So, and he's got some other stuff he's getting ready to tell you also. Yeah. So yeah, it was important that we put that fire out. Don't let it become an exaggeration by somebody else telling you, "Oh, they closed the banks. This is it." No, don't stop it. Then he says he that was a surprise. Yeah, Mark. He also said that Mark Soli, I really don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's part of the envoy from the United States of America. He also said that Mark Soli, I think, is also coming from the United States of America. The guys that are here now. Mark Wilson is with the delegation, but the guy that heads the head honcho is here. Your head honcho from Trump's administration is also coming, and he's the one that's coming. And I only said he's coming after Christmas. Little breakup. They didn't get the exact date, but he's the one that's bringing the money. Okay. There's a guarantee that if the fractions disarm, the United States is giving some money. Oh, but the deal is going to be in effect before all that's done. So I'm pretty sure when Mark comes from the United States, that's going to be the key that showed the point that we get ready to go international for the float, sir. And everything and everything else to fall into place. So I kind of would I kind of would watch for this date. They won't tell us the real date. They just say sometime. And that's similar to what Aki told us yesterday. Look, I'm not going to tell you right now, but they're about to tell them a lot. And once they do, then I'll tell you where all of our banks are at. Wow. Okay. Alrighty. And then he said, it seems like it's going to be sometime after Christmas. I said, well, yeah, I mean, sure, I guess 29 to the 31st. So, okay, gentlemen, thank you again for the report from The Economist. I see what you mean by his attitude. Omar talked to The Economist, Frank, answered all your questions. And The Economist told Eddie, and he told Omar to tell you, Frank, you should listen to what he's been talking about. Yes, sir, I should, shouldn't I? All right, I tell you what, no more BFF. It's very simply, Mr. Economist, you want to tell me something? You want to tell me that I should pay attention to what you've been saying? And of course, what you've been saying, you say is all in your opinion. Let me read the rest of what he said, family. Frank, he said he already answered your questions, all of your questions, because that's exactly what he's been talking about every time he comes out and talks on TV. And when he talks, he's talking in his personal opinion. So he he says he did. You know, he don't know any more than we do, but in his opinion, what he's been saying on the news for a while that Omar has been sharing with you, Mr. Frank, is my opinion. So you're asking me these questions? I've already answered them. And I have passed them on to Omar. And he has been passing it exactly his intel on that. So Omar said he was kind of an evasive guy. I can just imagine the phone call. Omar, hello, Mr. Economist. Yes, this is the Economist. That's me. What do you want? Yeah, I was going to call you at this time. Remember, we had an appointment. What do you want? Well, there's some people that want to ask you questions here. You've been saying this, and this, and all of that you're saying is expressed in your opinion, huh? Yeah, yeah, everything. Okay, well, this is this guy Frank26, and he wants to pose some questions. Well, I already answered all those questions. Everything that he's asking me, I already answered them. I already said everything I've said on the television has been my opinion, and everything that he's asking me is everything that I've been talking about. So what should I talk about? Omar has been passing Omar has been passing on to you exactly what I have been saying in my opinion. He give you his intel. So Omar says the guy was kind of evasive, Frank. He wasn't the friendliest guy in the world. He wasn't the friendliest guy in the world. And he just said that you did not watch me on TV. You have to listen to me on TV. And Omar said, yeah, I do watch you and I do listen to you. So he said, well, I've talked about all of this, Omar. Jeez Louise. Oh, okay, Mr. Economist. You ought to run for political position. You're pretty good at it. Yeah, you should listen. You should watch me on TV. I said all those things. I talked about that. So, Mr. Omar, so Omar says he's kind of a hard guy to talk to on the phone. He's kind of a hard guy to talk to on the phone. Yeah, you cornered him. He's kind of a hard guy to talk to on the phone. But that was his first time that we ever talked with him. And that was the first question. So the rest of the questions, it was hard to get the answers out of him. But from what he says, he's already answered that in his opinion only. But Omar kept pushing and pushing, and yeah, we got what we want from him. Same thing. It's nothing new. The point is that what his opinion is our opinion. And the last 10 days or so, you have seen that opinion. We have shared it with you. It has evolved and it's gotten to the point where it's at a stone wall. The economist doesn't want to go any further than that because on the other side of that wall would be a date and a rate. To which then I respond, and now Omar says he's not a friendly on the phone, all that kind of stuck up. Omar said he's not friendly, he's stuck up. He got a broom up his okole. That's Hawaiian for South. Then I say, thank you, Omar. I thank you. I considered your report to be very good intel because the answers that he gave to my questions. Thank you. No, and okay. I really especially like when he said, I already answered your questions. In other words, all of his opinion that he has been giving for to the citizens of Iraq for the last 10 days now is exactly what you and I and Walking Stick and the rest of our teams have opinionated. This man spoke not with a forked tongue, but with our tongue. The rest of our teams also opinionated. It's nothing new. It's not shocking because all that he has expressed to us, which matches what we are saying, is exactly what the CBI has released as monetary reform education. The Arasafrac. So let's just, regardless of his cocky attitude, trying to avoid answering you directly, he already has answered us indirectly. All of his innuendos, all of his suggestions, all of his opinions are based on one thing and one thing only. His opinion can only be right with the new exchange rate. Many different parts of the monetary reform are coming together for a powerful collision under the supervision of the United States of America because we want to get paid. No more delays. Like I told you yesterday, gentlemen, Walking Stick told me that the United States is going to pour into Iraq financially the moment they pull the trigger for your economic reform. But the new exchange rate is the trigger. Without it, nobody gets nothing. You don't get your purchasing power. We don't get paid. And Iraq takes over again. And obviously, none of that is going to happen because even the nasty, hard to talk to, arrogant economist agrees in his own way with his limited words with us. With his limited words of expression because he is tied legally. But he sure does talk a lot, doesn't he? Laughing out loud. Thank you for talking to him, Omar. I find it interesting that my BFF economist didn't come out and say anything to the citizens today, but at least he talked to you. Frank, the television says that from the fractions leaders, we have no choice. They said that? They said that? The fraction leaders? Oh, the fraction leaders. They said, well, we're screwed. Oh, lordy, lordy. We can't hit no screwball, man. We're screwed down my way. TV says that from the fraction leaders, he's saying, we got no choice but to surrender our weapons and help join the political process. No, no, don't try. That's cute. We surrender. Can we get back into parliament again? Huh? No. Well, we surrendered. Get your ass out of here. Nobody wants you. Go back to your own country. To which I said, this is extremely encouraging to see the Iranian fractions willing to lay down their arms. Personally, I don't trust them to do that. But because we are there, they said they have no choice to do so. So many things are coming together at the right precise time for the monetary reform, in my opinion. For your enemy to say that they have no choice but to give up its power. Let me try that again. For your enemy to say that they have no choice but to give up is very powerful for what we seek, the purchasing power of your currency, because that's what they were stealing. Now, why not? All right. So, alrighty. So that's it. In summary, for the first time, we didn't see the economist come and talk, but instead he spent the afternoon talking with Omar, and he was a little bit coy. He was a little bit stubborn. He was like, like a hard root canal. It just wouldn't come out. And yet, his conversation was suffice. We more than understand what he was trying to say. Leave me alone. I've already told you everything. All your questions that you're asking me, I've already answered them all. The one question that it was, directly the very first question when he started with us and directed at me, hey, you don't watch me, huh? You need to watch me. I do watch you. Well, I already answered all these questions. answer them again. There's a reason why we're doing this, and you know the reason, and we've already made this deal, so give it up, sucker. And he did. And I'd rather not share, except that he said, I already answered all these questions. And your first question, you're asking me, what are we going to do on the first? You know what we're going to do on the first. We're going to reassess it. Google the word. Did you enjoy yourself? Do you think that you learned some things with me tonight? I hope so. Walking Stick wants me to tell you that he has a lot of friends that have mining contracts. And it was announced today that Donald Trump made a very interesting deal with China concerning raw minerals. And I found it interesting that China capitulated. And the reason why they did is because we announced last week that we found a massive amount of raw minerals in the United States of America, continental. Thank you, Jan. Rare, man. What'd I say? I said raw. Oh, I'm just tired. Yeah, that we found a massive deposit of no, of rare minerals. So what does China say? Well, you don't need our minerals anymore? Did we say that? Do you want our minerals or not? Yeah, we want our minerals. Okay, there you go. Sign it. No. Here, we're gonna pay this instead. What? Go ahead, sign. Just sign. Go ahead. We're desperate. Yes, you are. Oh, China, your oil? You're trying to get oil from Iraq? No. We'll talk about that too. Trump is de-dollarizing the Middle East. When he's done with the Middle East, he'll go to the Far East. Interestingly enough, the Middle East is considered the Asian theater. So yeah, he made a deal with rare because of the deposit that we found. All right. So yeah, we're done, family. That's what I wanted to share with you. If you study the Iraqi dinar, God bless you. And if you stick around for a little aloha, I'd like to show you something. And by the way, we are not to determine the time. Okay, you know that. No rate, no day. We are not to determine the time, but we are to be on time. Please be prepared. We are ktfalways.com. It stands for Keep the Faith Always in Our Heavenly Father. In my opening prayer, I asked God in front of you to help me to do the right thing. Because it's so easy to do the wrong thing. And I want to be honorable in front of God. I want to be with Him for an eternity. I want to go home one day. And I don't want God to be angry with me anymore. And He had good reason to be angry with me. I wasn't following the law. Well, it's not the law anymore. I wasn't following His word. You witnessed it. I'd get angry at the drop of a hat. When the referees stole my game last night for the Detroit Lions, when they stole that 2 touchdowns and they take them both away. Whoa. Normally I would have gone insane. I don't anymore. And the reason why is because my my sight, the crosshairs are no longer so much on the world, but on where I am going. I'm soon to leave this world. I have less years to live than I've already lived, and I don't think that's fair, but apparently my warranty is going to run out. Okay. And I want to be pleasing to God in whatever time I have. You know, God almost killed Moses. God almost killed Moses, his servant, the best. You think there's a, what'd you do wrong, Moses? Well, Frank, one day we was walking down that there desert, up there in that desert area, and I mean, it was a long day, and we was done, and God stopped us, and I don't think He was happy with me. I don't know what was going on, but my wife, she ran, got she got a knife. She ran and got a knife, and she went to our son that was just recently born, and she she cut the foreskin off, and she threw it in front of my feet, and the good Lord uh, left us alone, and we continued on our. I didn't know it was going to be 40 years, but God was going to kill me because I was being disobedient to the law. Sometimes we're sinful and we don't even realize it. So I pray. I pray to be corrected when I'm sinful. I don't want God to kill me. And He has all right to do so. I want to leave you with something that a friend of mine from Hawaii called me. And he says, "Hey, brother, okay, you put the pineapple in the coconut. Oh, no, you put the lime in the Did you put the pineapple? What did you do when you planted the pineapple?" I said, "Well, I'll show you." Ah, let's see if I can lift this high enough so you can see it, family. But this is what I'm supposed to show you. These are chives, these are peppers, and these are pineapples. But look, remember the little pineapple? Okay. There. Okay. So the little pineapple is going to be the food, the nutrition for this new pineapple to grow. Over here, I already got them buried, but I'm going to pop them out there. There's that other pineapple. Remember I showed you that? So there's the hole, and I'm just going to put it in there. And what happens is that all of that is the nutrition for the next pineapple to come out. Now you may say, well, are you ever going to eat them? Yeah, I will. So the true way to plant a pineapple is not to cut the green and plant the green, but cut half the pineapple and plant half the pineapple, and then it grows. Guarantee. Anyways, God bless you all. Thank you kindly for being with me. I will see you tomorrow, but I also have one more little thing that came in the mail. I'd like to show it to you, okay? Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Well, looky here. Here, I'll tell you what, Tink. Let me stand up. Oh, Oh, I didn't show you this, Jan. We were so busy today. But look, you know who did this. Every year, I got 20 of these now. Every year, this beautiful lady makes me a personalized birthday card. That's me and the beautiful things that she says. And this is from our admins, from Andy and Burma. And also from Snowy. They're, what is it, a cockatoo they have? I think that's what he is. But thank you, Burma. This is handmade. What's it say in the back? I think it says created just for you by me. Burma 2025. That's so cute. But can you even see it? It's so tiny. It is microscopic, man. It's amazing that I can still see that. Wow. And then this also came in the mail. Thank you, Burma. God bless you. Thank you, sweetheart. And Andy. Okay, Andy too. And their little chihuahua dog. Oh. I just cracked this open. This is from Windy. Windy Night. God bless you, Windy. Oh, look at that thing. Oh, nice. Oh, that's very nice. Those are sugar cookies. She did say I could have one. Well, she doesn't know what she's talking about, but that's okay. Nice. Yes, honey bunny. I'll give you. I'll give you one. I'll give you half of one. Well, I'll take a bite and I'll let you look at one. Okay, how's that? There was a note in here. I don't see it. Oh, it's inside there. Oh, look at it. North Pole. That would be. Oh. Yeah, that was okay.